how can we write backstory?
On paper. You write out the whole life histories of your characters from the day they were born. And you have long files full of the life histories of your characters up until the inciting incident when your story begins. And then as you build these characters, who they are is who they've, what they've lived through. It's a combination of their genes and their totality of experience. Then as you write out the whole life histories of these characters, you give thought to what has happened in these life histories, significant events within the life histories of the characters that you will use to create revelations that will cause powerful turning points during the telling of the story. And so you as you write out the life histories of your characters, embedded in those life histories is backstory, previous significant events that are driving these characters from underneath, that are in their human experience, that when the truth comes out, it creates powerful turning points in their lives for better or worse. And so you give thought to the life histories of your characters. And everybody, how much and how little of this you do, I can't tell you. But you have to know these characters from the day or even before they were born, into what culture they were born, and all the influences on them and their whole life histories. And embedded in those life histories is backstory events that you will use as reveals to turn scenes, turn story. There are 40 to 60 scenes in a typical feature film. There are maybe a dozen scenes or so in a typical play. In a novel, who knows how many scenes there are. And you can't 40, 50, 60 times over in a feature film. In a television series of 6, 8, 10 episodes a season, who knows how many scenes there are? Hundreds. And you can't turn dozens and dozens of scenes on action, 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 action. It becomes repetitious, and after a while, actions lose impact. Risk that anyway. So you always need a mix of action and revelation. And so that it's action, and then a revelation, action, revelation. And you need a mix of actions, and there's only two ways to turn any scene. You either turn it on action, characters do something, they get a reaction that changes things, or revelations, the truth comes out, it's either good or bad. And that's it. So, and so you need a backstory, you need life histories and previous significant events buried in them so that you can create a mix of actions and reactions. Action, reaction, and revelation and reaction. And most of the time, the effect of revelations is more powerful than an action. As you saw in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, that's the climax, the revelation that they have been living a fantasy life with an imaginary child for 20 years. And that George has decided that it's time for Martha to come into reality. That is incredibly powerful. And so, and so the climax of the whole play turns on a revelation. So, so you need them both, and revelations tend to be more powerful than actions, tend to be.